Kia ora, my beautiful family of light, my beloveds. Welcome to the live stream of the Kopu Temple of the Blue Diamond. As you can see, I am honouring the Blue Diamond and all of its glory. And we're doing it slightly differently this week. We're bringing in the medicine from this angle, which feels really potent. So kia ora to those that are joining us, and also to those who are watching the replay. Always love getting positive feedback from these amazing journeys that we're starting to embark on every week. It feels like such a potent ritual on this Venus day. Venus is also known as Kopu, of course, so many of you will probably already know that. Venus means, well, Kopu, and Kopu also means womb. So we are literally here in the heart womb of Venus. So I feel very honored to be living in this sacred sanctuary that we have turned into a ritual space, predominantly for the Blue Diamond work that's come in this year. It's all part of the unfolding of this sacred journey that has led us on such an interdimensional space. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So welcome Sister Bianca and Manawa, who've joined us in the room, and welcome to all of you who have joined us. And kia ora, Joe, Dr. Joe. Lovely connecting with you this week, and I'm so glad that your Blue Diamond waters have arrived to you safe and sound. That is so awesome. So I would like us to just do a little cleansing ceremony, honouring all of those who are coming in as well. So cleansing our fields with Palo Santo, which is an ancient Lemurian medicine, above us, below us, before us, and behind us, within us, and without us. And kia ora, Claire. Welcome, sister. So if those of you who are part of the Blue Diamond crew, if you would just like to put a little comment in there, it's so great to have those of you who are on the journey to co-create the space together, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about us coming together and into this reconnection time at the 4:44, the stroke of the bell. So last couple of days ago, I was sharing my bells, all the bells that I have been collecting over the years. And I did cheat, I got to say. I actually bought a collection off Anha. She had a bell collection, and I was like, yeah, baby, I really want that collection. So I bought the collection, and now I've just kind of been adding a few little bells to it here and there. I've got more bells in different parts of the house as well. So, yeah, the bells, it's time for the toning of the bells. It is definitely time to start bringing in the ancient medicines. And, there's a reason why they were all melted down. And there was a big shout out to call all the bells back. It wasn't just about the making weapons with them, although I think that perhaps that was one of the reasonings, but it was also so that the vibrations of the bell is actually a technology, and it's a very high frequency that helps us to go into 0 point, and that's one of the reasons why there was a calling out for all of those bells to be returned so that we couldn't we couldn't ascend as quickly. So here's the toning of the bell, welcoming in the new queen of Aotearoa. This is the bell for the queen, honouring her queendom. And this is the royal crown as well. So we're very much here attuning to the royal robes that we all carry and honouring our own queendom and crowning ourselves with our crowning glory so that we may all receive our royal robes and stand in our true power, our royalty and our majesty. And kia ora, Jane. Welcome, sister. So I'm just going to open up with a little karakia with our blue diamond karakia, and I'm going to send it out to the group with our interpretation as well so we can all start to use it. So thank you, Claire, for that reminder recently. E te atua o te ao marama, te whare wānanga o te atua, te whare tapu o te taimana kahurangi, tēnei mātou I kāranga nei, kia tau mai te aroha, te rangimari e, me te maramatanga, whakatokia te kaha, te maia, me te manawa nui. Hei kaha mō mātou I tēnei hui. Kia tutuki ai ngā moimoi ā. I roto I te aroha me te kotahitanga. E nā wairua katoa. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Whiti, 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 māranga mai. Te wairua. Āmi me. So for those of you who may not know, te reo, the reo has actually got a lot of codes in it. It's actually a very, very high vibration language. And the Lemurian codes were anchored in the reo so that we could help ascend through the language. And it carries a very high vibration equal to, or, you know, perhaps even more prominent than the Vedic language, which is also another sacred language. There's multiple sacred languages, actually. But Reo is one of the chosen languages for the activation of this new rising that's happening, this grand rising of the mu frequency, which is, you know, we're coming around again into this golden age, which feels very auspicious right now. So today I am really wanting to share a little bit about the Lemurian and Atlantis connection. Now, I've been getting a lot of downloads around the Sphinx. So I bought my Sphinx, my beautiful lioness. I've brought my Sphinx with me today, and I'm kind of all very catified. I'm bringing in the cat medicine, and we have Manawa over there, my beautiful Snat, who's half cat, half serpent. He turns into a golden serpent quite regularly. He's been shape-shifting since birth, actually, because he's the only cat out of the whole litter that has the golden eyes. And those golden eyes, man, they get me. Manawa, come here, puppy. Come here, pussy. Oh, he's way too comfortable. But yeah, he's a bit of a precious baby, this one. Oh my goddess. Oh, you're so beautiful. And he's got the hearts on him. But yeah, he's a little bit restless today. He wants to be on the couch getting stroked. But yeah, he's a bit of a precious boy. And his mama, I don't know where she's gone today. She's no doubt, yeah, probably up in the rafters somewhere. Anyway, I tried. So yeah, we have the Sphinx, and the medicine with the Sphinx is just absolutely phenomenal. So I really want to share that in a minute. And also recently, in the last couple of days, I had the Moai want to connect in with the Sphinx. So I felt a real connection with these two. And I realized what it's about. So the Moai is very significant of Lemuria. So the golden age of Lemuria. And this is the celebration of that frequency of the golden age of Lemuria, when it was at its peak, when it was a civilization that wasn't just on this planet, but every other civilization on every planet in the galaxy. Everyone vibrated to a very high vibratory harmonic. And so this was the peak of Lemuria. And then the Sphinx came during another golden age, which was the golden age of Atlantis. And so, yeah, they talk about the Sphinx being Atlantean. So this came at a time where, again, the whole civilization, it wasn't just this planet, it was every other planet in the solar system. We had quantum energy back then. I mean, this is what we're going back to. We're going back to the future. And these are little reminders for us that we got this, this is where we're heading with these two remembrances. And yeah, I felt very strongly them giving each other a hongi. Whoa, bringing in that serpentine energy, the golden cobra, the heru, which is also short for Hu, Hu. And isn't that what humans are called? Human. So the other really important piece about the Sphinx is that it represents not only the golden age, but it also represents the golden child, the golden ones, the ones that are raising themselves out of this illusion and this density. They're finding ways of being able to master their molecules and recognize we are way beyond just these physical dense bodies, right? We are the magicians of Mu, Atlantis, returning. And this is the other thing that I really love about this. Actually, I'll get to that in a minute. But this also holds all the records of the Akash. So past, present, and future records of all the timelines and all the things that we have done in the past, all the civilizations that we've been a part of, because, some of you, those of you watching this, are cool people. For starters, high five to you. Thank you for feeling the sense of wanting to step above and beyond into this fifth dimensional and above frequency dimension and magnetic, because this is where we're heading. We can't just stay in this density, this dystopian reality that has a narrative that is, kind of like predictive programming. Actually, the whole predictive program, no, we do not consent and we do not agree to any of it. So let's create the new paradigm, and we can only do it together as a team. And that's one of the reasons why the Blue Diamond work we've been doing is so important, recognizing that we are so much more than these, that we're just here on our own, that we're just doing it all and holding the weight of the world on our shoulders. No, we're not. We're here as a group. We've come together as a collective now. The 144,000 particles of ourselves returned. And that's what this frequency of the blue diamond is all about. This is about us returning to the one. And the Lemurian, which is the lower pyramid, which is the Te Whananui-a-Kiwa pyramid, and the Atlantean pyramid, which is connected to the Bermuda Triangle. So those two, conscious and I, unified into the one. And that's what I see the Moai and the Sphinx is all about. I also see it as being the eagle and the condor. The eagle, the Atlantean frequency, and the condor frequency of the Moai. Yeah, so this is what the blue planetary diamond is about. It's about the unifying of the time alignments. So the new dream time that we're creating, the unification of us as a people, because essentially we are everything. We're connected to everything on not only this planet, but the whole universe. We are a fractal of God consciousness. And that's what we are needing to drum into each other, remind each other every single day that this is who we are. We are mastering our molecules. We are identifying that we are a fractal of source consciousness itself. So therefore, we are all creators. We are all gods. And we're made in the image of God. So, I love my body temple now. I'm loving it more than I have ever loved it before. And that's because I know that I have a responsibility to ensure that I'm vibrating at a higher level enough to sustain the momentum for the whole collective. Because when we understand or understand that we're part of the whole and our frequency is actually being matched, but it's also being observed. And we have a lot more responsibility then when we know that we are part of the solution, when we can vibrate at a higher frequency. And it's very magnetic. It's like a supercharged energy. It also helps to produce all sorts of manifestations. It helps bring in all the things that we're needing in order to fill those voids that we have in our life, and our desires are met fully, and we are able to sustain ourselves a lot more. There's a higher energy that we are able to access when we can vibrate, when we are choosing to vibrate at this higher frequency, magnetic and dimension. Which is bringing in the new golden age. And we are the new golden children. We're the new kids on the galactic block, but we're also the new golden children. And that brings me back to the Heru, the hue, which represents the golden child. It also represents the setting and the rising sun. So once we do all the work, once we master our molecules and we actually start learning about, how things actually do work. And this is part of my study, is working with the Kemetic tree of life and learning all about the different nuances. This is the very first, I don't even want to call it a religion, but I guess it's also known as an African religion, but it is actually the first spiritual teachings that this planet has ever known. And it's all connected to this tree of life that we hold within us. And there's a lot of initiation stuff in here. There's a lot of new learnings. Part of our part of the journey that we go on is we learn about the interconnection with us to everything in the whole cosmos. And we learn how to read hieroglyphics, but also to write hieroglyphics. Now, the Ankh is quite significant in this work. So we are learning about the key of life and how that relates and how relatable it is to everything, actually. And I see that our ancestors, well, I know it to be true because I've already been shown it, that our ancestors did actually come out of Egypt. So that's the other reason why I feel that I'm not misappropriating anything. I feel like this is a time that we're remembering, but also reweaving the whāriki of all that we have forgotten. And also that we are unifying as a civilization, as a being, as a one being, as coming back to oneness, but also coming back to wholeness, remembering all those fractals of ourselves that we're all fractalated out. They were all, they all went to all the different parts of the planet and all the different parts of the solar system. And now we're coming back together. So this is all part of us attaining the frequency codes of the land of first light as well. Like, a lot was gifted to us. And our Waitaha whānau prided themselves on being able to bring in the diverse genetics from all over the planet, so we could be as diverse as possible in our genetics and actually have a bigger, stronger constitution as a result of that. And so this is why a lot of Waitaha peoples are, they're usually really pretty, well, apart from being quite beautiful, they are generally pretty, they've got really sturdy constitutions and they don't get sick very often. They're actually very, staunch in their capacity. They're very intellectual. And a lot of them are seers. They've actually got open third eyes, because it wasn't just beauty that they went for. It was all the other genetics, the capacity to actually have those DHEA genetics from Africa, those those melanated skin genes, which actually help with the intelligence. So it's been quite a beautiful unfolding as things have emerging within us and memories being restored. And we then have part of the first light prophecy is the prophecy of the blue diamond, which is all connected to the planetary blue diamond, the blue diamond within us. So remembering that this portal right here, our voice, our ability to activate our sacred sound seed, bring in the new harmonics, which is, every time we open our mouth, we're actually spell casting. So it's making sure that whatever we're calling out through this waha, through this gateway, through this uri channel, that it is of high frequency, because we have that responsibility, like I talked about earlier. We have a responsibility to ensure that we are bringing solutions. We're part of the solution and no longer perpetuating the problem. This is also the reclamation of our crowns, of our third eye, of our stargate here. It's within all of us. It's not just exclusive to those in the Blue Diamond crew, although we are learning how to master it. So we are actually coming into this mastery now of who we are becoming. Yeah, we are the golden children, and I'd like to call ourselves Ra Ngāti Ra, because that is also part of it. This is not only is it an esteemed person, but it is also a sacred remembering of every one of us being royalty. And we are resurrecting and resurfacing these ancient codes of the first creation principles, which is how we're going to birth the new golden age. We are not going to do it any other way. So yeah, kia ora for that comment, as if. It is very, it's not actually that well known about the diverse genes that the Waitaha did, but they knew that these times were coming. And they knew that there was going to be a big hijack as well, because that I could hear the warnings, a long time ago, that the waters were very important, because Waitaha means literally standing waters, or holding the holder of the waters. And with Veda Austin's work, she speaks of us being 99% water on a molecular level, and water as being source, not just a resource, but source that actually observes itself and gives its own feedback to itself, records and sends itself information. So it's like a big mirror that comes back to us and records consciousness. It doesn't want to play when we're not in the field. It doesn't play with us. So we have to be in that joyful innocence, play energy, the curiosity, just like the cat, right? That's why the cats are so important right now. Not only is it a remembering of the Sphinx and the lioness, the lioness energy, and our DNA from Lyra, the star system, but it's also an upgrade for us to remember that we are these golden children and we have a huge responsibility. Now, the other thing that's very important to note is that each Sphinx this is a download that I received recently, is connected to the suns, the sun gates that we have inside of us, and every single chakra through our body temple is a sun. So we have the rising and the setting sun at each point. So within us, there are 7 sphinxes, 7 opportunities, 7 golden children, 7 golden ages that are reconnecting us to everything. And yes, we are standing waters. We are all standing waters. We're also the sun and the moon and the stars. We are everything. So don't ever forget that we are super connected. We are more than what we've ever been told we are. Our education system was geared to dumb us down and make us just completely confused about who the heck we really are. And that's why some of the most uneducated people are the freaking cleverest one. Look at Terence Howard, how he's breaking mathematical equations through the flower of life, which is super interesting because I've been starting to watch some of that information that's streaming through now from the flower of life, because there's been a bit of a hijack around that too. And I'm actually seeing that This is all about the flowering now. We aren't just star seeds. We are star flowers, remembering that we came here for a higher purpose. We came here to birth the golden age. And further to that, I know that for my own personal situation, I am here to assist those that are ready to come and follow me and come on a journey of self-discovery, to learn the beauty way, to learn what it is to walk the rose line, to learn how to truly be in communication and relationship with self, because it takes a lot of courage to actually know how to even communicate with people. And that's actually one of the very toughest things. Oh, kia ora. Kailei Dime, sorry, I can't say your name properly. The blooming and fruiting of the star seeds. Kia ora. Yes, we are flowering right now. And when we flower, we start to be able to produce fruit. That's the next phase. So it's like, that's when we know we've got it in hand as the golden children birthing in the golden age. Once we start to come together in groups. Kai lady me, oh kia ora. I love it. And so, yeah, when we come together as the 144,000 returned, because, you know, essentially we are got 144,000 chakras in our body temple. And this is all parts of the fractal of the diamond that's been fractulated. And we're coming back together as a returning and remembering that we are these incredible fractals reflecting to each other, you know, because there's actually only one of us here. That's the dichotomy that we're in. And when we see people's reflections, they're just mirrors really for us to actually witness for ourselves. And it's quite big, you know, this whole energetic that we have to come to, this whole space and place and time that we have to come to that understanding, to know that this is how it actually works. So yeah, we are these incredible beings of infinite potential. And we just need to remember the magic that we are. Because we're here as creator beings, creators of source consciousness. We are eternal and infinite. And we always have been and forever will be. So, you know, when we die, that's not the end of it. We just return directly back to source, and then we can communicate probably in all places at the same time. We are these incredible beings of light. And so, yeah, it's about now we're coming to that space and place and time where we have to come together. We have to unify. All the tribes of the world have to come together into unification. Kia ora, energy, frequency, vibration with Jess. Lovely to see some new whānau coming in. Welcome. You may have missed some of the stuff around the Lemuria and Atlantis piece that was shared earlier. And kei te pai, you can certainly go back and watch the replay. So yes, it's really divine time to shine, and for us to really start to weave together and actually grow each other up, because, you know, a lot of people are still in their infancy states of being in victim, and that's where we just got to we've just got to slap each other silly and go, actually, no. It's time to frickin' grow up, whānau. No more trying to blame anybody for our experience. We have to take full radical self-responsibility. And that's all part of us growing up as a civilization, as a unified whole. Yeah, everything is what our soul has asked for. It's there for our evolution. We've got to stop thinking that it's here to piss us off. And and it's a negative thing, because actually everything is here for our evolution, and we must know that nothing is here for any other reason, even all the bad stuff that's happening. And granted, we have actually all got something that we're experiencing right now. We're all going through stuff. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We're all in that Chiron retrograde. I'm in my Saturn return as well, my second Saturn return. There's a lot of shit going down for us. We are crumbling on the inside. All of the things that we thought we were, our egos are getting torn apart. And it's quite vicious, like it's actually pretty hardcore sometimes. And we've got to find a way that, we can make sense of it all. And that's why it's important to have 3 safe people in our lives where we can just share anything to and know that it's actually okay, that we're not going to get judged. So 3 safe people, that's all we need. People that we trust our lives with. And people that aren't going to get triggered by anything that we say. So, yeah, it can be a big ask, but as a community, we are enabling that. We're starting to come together more and more and assist each other to have those safe spaces to rise. Because there's a lot of compassion that goes with this as well. We have to be compassionate to ourselves primarily, and forgive ourselves, but actually accept ourselves more than we forgive ourselves. Yeah, judgment is a normal habit. But that is actually something that is a whole mastery. We are mastering our molecules. This is all part of it too. And the other thing is, one of the big things that's come up for me recently is the idea that because I had a terrible habit actually of wanting to share my story. Whenever anybody shared anything with me, I had to reflect it with my own imprint in there. Somehow I had to reflect a story that was similar, or actually share back, instead of actually truly listening to the person who was actually sharing and giving them that time and space. I imposed myself on them by doing that, by having to impose my piece that that they were sharing so lovingly with me, and I didn't have their consent on doing that. And I realized that that was a terrible habit I got caught up with, and someone actually pulled me up on it once, and I realized that is not actually in true alignment. So it's actually not just blurting things out. Yes, it's important we all have a voice, and it's important that we're all seen and witnessed, but there's a time and a space for it, and we need to do it on our terms, and not when we're in relationship with others, not when we're relating to others. I don't think there's always it's a free-for-all. I don't think it's something that we should be discharging to each other. We should be able to listen and hold space for each other. I think that's actually so important right now. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more accountability. I want to see more people in discipleship with themselves and owning their shit and owning their beauty and their power and who they truly are. So, yeah, and actually really stepping up and speaking into the things that make them on fire. Yeah, things that make them rise and make them passionate and creative, because that's how we're going to solve all these problems. We need to be passionate and creative. We need to find creative solutions, and we can't do it with the same consciousness that created all the problems in the first place. We have to do things differently, and we have to come through a quantum lens to do that. There's a lot of new learnings, and we are just going to get better and better and better at it. This is what it's all about, coming into conscious community with each other. We have to just learn some of the basics on communication, because we were not shown it. We weren't taught it in schools. They didn't give a shit about how we communicated. They wanted violent communication between people. And and they wanted to create this disruption. And I say they because, it's probably a part of me that I just am not owning, because I used to be like that too. I didn't have those skills, but now we know better. And when you know, you can't ever unknow. So far, no. I feel that it's time for us to do I'm going to do a little reading, and then we're going to do a transmission, and we're going to do the divine marriage of Lemuria and Atlantis. So today I've been asked to do the reading on the Tuatara. So the Tuatara is the Stargate holder, and I feel very connected to Moai, which is the whale island just off the coast of Whakaari, and just off the coast of Whakatane. And there's a Tuatara sanctuary there. So it's a very sacred portal for me. Excuse me. And it's also connected to Sirius. That particular location, there's 3 points. So there's Moai, Whakaari, and Tōrere. They all create this huge big stargate. Anyway, protector of the 4 winds. I am Tuatara. I guide you through the star realms and the spheres of ancient lore to open doors beyond sight that release the mind to soar. I guard wondrous spirit trails seen clearly through the third eye. I walk the path of old truth offered in the rainbow sky. I stand amidst the storm's rage to hear your cry for courage and show the lost and lonely the sky trail that leads to home. I am the Stargate. Tuatara was born some 200 million years ago. It is the sole survivor of a line that which stood cataclysm that ended the age of the reptiles, and continues to thrive in remote islands of the coast of New Zealand, Aotearoa. Tuatara is unique. On the top of its head is a third eye that responds to the changing light. It looks out on the world and beyond to another. It is the keeper of the sacred, the one acknowledged when we seek the deepest lore, the wondrous secrets of the universe. Tuatara guards the gates of the most ancient schools of learning, where the mysteries are held close. When we leave this realm to return to the stars, it opens the spirit trail that leads home. When the other creatures of the world chose the guardians that were to protect them, Tuatara refused to ally itself with anybody. Thus it remained free to enter and serve all realms. Its home is made within a burrow that it often shares with Titi, the mutton bird. When Titi lays its first egg, Tuatara eats it. However, thereafter it declines to take another. for its role is now that of protector, the defender of the eggs. When the chicks hatch, Tuatara does not devour them. Instead, it cleans the nest, eats food dropped during feeding, and cleans the fouled feathers of the young when the parents are absent. Tuatara carries wisdom that stretches back to the beginnings of life. It is another age, and yet of our time and our learning. If you have entered the domain of the Tuatara, you have come to a significant place on your journey. It is time to look to the deeper knowledge, the sacred law held within the palm of the universe. We are born of the stars. In the beginning, all was of the void, the nothingness. And into the nothingness came the great sound. And out of the great sound was created life and all there is. We travel this realm holding in our mind the question, who am I? We learn much on the trail of self-discovery, for in truth it carries us beyond ourselves. It teaches us to let go, to be open to new horizons as we journey to meet the four winds. It brings us to the third eye, to Tuatara, the gatekeeper who opens the way, and we move into the circle. All you experience now is of the sacred, all bound within the call to walk with one heart, leaving aside those things that are of the old ego, recognizing hurt buried deep, revealing guilt that burdens. You step into forgiveness, nurture the inner strength that sets you free. Tuatara invites you to walk the path of the rainbow. That is the trail of the light. All opens to you, the inner realm of spirit and the magical power of being. Trust the gentle voice that echoes out of space and time. Trust your knowing, truth moving beyond the mind. Trust the inner eye that clearly sees the child at play. Trust your song, the uniqueness of your chosen way. Trust who you are and all you were born to be. Trust, and in that trusting, be forever free. Oh, wow. No wonder that this was one of the cards that we chose the other night during ceremony, during the new moon ceremony. So, wow. Now I'd like to invite us to bring in the unification of the Moai and the Sphinx. I'm just going to bring them back together again so you can see them. Bringing them back together in the hongi. Woo! That feels so powerful. And yeah, very much connected to the way of the warrior of light. So calling in through all time, space, and dimensions, and connecting into every blue diamond chamber of Merlin on this planet and every other planet in the solar system and the cosmos, to amplify and intensify our intentions. We unify, call in the unification of Atlantis and Lemuria within us, of all ancient knowledge, all gnosis, all truths, and all magical quantum experiences and possibilities. We call in our true sovereignty. We call in our queendom as the divine feminine rises all over the cosmos and her divine glory remembered. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. I'm just inviting us all to go into some sacred bee sounds, putting our tongues to the roof of our mouths and making sounds doing 8 tones, and then completing. And you're welcome to move your body at the same time. So taking a deep breath in. And visualizing the blue diamond unifying the tetrahedron of the pyramid of Lemuria and Atlantis. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. It is so. Aho. Thank you so much, my beloveds. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for showing up for this planetary alignment that has happened on a much bigger scale than what I think we realize. So powerful. Wishing you all a fabulous, fabulous weekend and an amazing rest of the night. Be sure to see Venus in the sky, in the night sky. Be sure to honor her when she rises in the west. She rises right over here for us. It's just so beautiful. We're very blessed. So I guess that's the reason why they called this area Corpu, Venus. So just closing this space, thanking all of our tupuna, our kaitiaki, our teams of light for bringing us into the sacred circle. So we may share truth, so we may come together again as a unified whole, as Rānatira, and remember ourselves as the golden children. May we continue to walk tall through the ancient prophecies remembered through the convergence of these timelines, through the convergence of the prophecies, and bring the land of first light, blue diamond frequencies online fully as we continue to weave the whāriki of all of the nations, of all of the peace trails returning, coming back together into unified whole. Kia tātou katoa me ata whai o tō tātou, ara kia ihu karaiti me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te wairo tapu, ake, ake, ake. Āmene. Mwah. Ka kite anō. Until next week. Thank you so much for showing up. Bye for now.